broadcast, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Four wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting side by side on motor mouth, there's nowhere to White flag, need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the race is won. Another battle is over and done. Cheers to the booth, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all I know. Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. On a motor mouth broadcast, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Four wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Through the chicane, it's side by side. On motor mouth, there's nowhere to White flag, need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the race is won. Another battle is over and done. Cheers to the booth, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all I know. Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. On a motor mouth broadcast, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Four wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Through the chicane, it's side by side. On motor mouth, there's nowhere to hide.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into Motormouth Broadcasting and welcome into the Maximum Velocity Racing League CNC Home Designs Truck Series. We're in for the penultimate round of Season 5 here out at Pocono Raceway. 2 rounds to go for the regular season before the chase begins in May. And as April looks to come to an end, we will try and prepare ourselves for who is going to be positioned within the chase format for the final 5 rounds of this championship season. Hamish Runner here with you alongside Jim Cunningham as we're broadcasting live out at the Tricky Triangle. And we'll have to make sure tonight, Jim, that these drivers can set themselves up well, get a good break off the get-go, and maybe pocket some balls too along the way. But it's exciting stuff whenever we get to come into Pocono. The Reels Drivers Circuit on the calendar. It'll be one to offer up some great racing, I'm sure, but also maybe a little bit of chaos for those that are on the chase bubble as well.
Yep, good to be here with you tonight, Hamish. And one of my favorite tracks to drive. I guess I would say it's always kind of been a favorite of mine, even for watching racing. I always liked the NASCAR series when it went here. But yeah, I love this place. I like driving here. I love the oddity of the 3 different corners. I think it's really cool. But would it technically be 6 corners? But I guess not.
No, Jim, it wouldn't because technically ovals lie and they claim they have 4 corners, but there's no break in the corner. The only one that I would say has got a break in corners is Indianapolis.
Well, that's true. Yes, Indy. Well, there's a few others that are kind of shaped Indy-esque, but yes, I agree with you. That's an interesting shot there of a dirt road somewhere off the side of the track, I guess.
Well, hopefully no one's going to end up in the dirt tonight.
Well,
hopefully they can
true.
keep it on the tarmac or off wall.
Keeping it on the concrete would be good here. Yes, this place is
Of
famous.
course,
By the way, I don't know if you know this because you probably don't watch a lot of NASCAR racing, but they've had deer run out on the track here, and one I think got hit at some point in time by a race car. It destroyed the race car, which obviously we had the whole kangaroo thing at Bathurst this year or whatever. But
I was about to say, what you're saying is this is the Bathurst of the NASCAR fandom.
It
Yes.
is. It is. It's just or the there's a Formula One track where like iguanas come out on the track, and then there's
Silverstone where they have people run onto the circuit.
well, that's a whole that's idiots. They deserve to be hit. If you're stupid enough as a human to do that, you deserve to be run over. But that's another story for another time. Let's take a look at these points before these guys get into qualifying here, because we're down to it now, man. This is what it's all about here.
That's right. Of course, we've got 4 minutes of practice left to go. We're in about 3.5 minutes practice left to go before we do get into qualifying. Keaton Tripp is locked in at this point to the chase, as is Justin Michael, as is Dakota Floyd, as is Bentley Glazer, Nathan Carroll, Joshua Motacek as well. Everyone else is still on the bubble after this week. The likes of Howe, Moore, Smith, Patton, even Elliott and Wagner can lock themselves in. Those that are on the bubble at the moment, Will Kirk, Tommy Cook, Gordon Spain, Michael Milfelt Jr. are currently on the bubble with Jack Watts, Rod Mitton, Billy Bumgarner, John Schellbackler, Josh Fracker, and Rob Haynes breathing down their necks. It's going to take a significantly good race for Rob Haynes, Josh Fracker, and Schellbackler to jump those bubble drivers ahead of them. It's going to take a significantly poor race from Spain, Milfelt Jr. and Cook to really drop outside of that top 16 into a dangerous points differential. I think the issue is, Jim, for Gordon Spain, we mentioned him last week, he had to perform last week. He didn't. He has to perform this weekend at Michigan, and I don't know if he can. That's going to be the real test. He's off the pace at the moment at the back of the field. He's really struggled since his win at the early point of the season out at round 1 at Daytona. I don't know how well he's going to do across the next few weeks, and if he can actually hang on to that chase position, I think it's going to be incredibly tough for him. He's become a super speedway specialist. Now, yes, you could classify Pocono as a super speedway, but it's really not your regular tri-oval super speedway. It is the driver's super speedway. It is a technical powerhouse in terms of the fact that it has 3 different corners that take 3 completely different approaches, have 3 completely different exits. You are basically having to ride on the edge of your driving ability throughout this whole race. It will catch some drivers out. And from what we've seen from Gordon Spain, he hasn't been there this season
No,
throughout the
not really.
majority of the run. He's had some great races, no doubt about that, and has got some great speed. But I don't think he's lived up to what we may have expected from him after that first round, where we thought he was going to be a contender and a
Yeah,
challenger the whole
yeah,
season
we did.
throughout.
I mean,
Um,
that's not knowing. Some of the drivers kind of
yeah,
clued us in a week or two later. That he was more of a super speedway guy, and that's proven to be the case. Obviously,
yeah.
like I look like guys that I think are like Mike Milfelt Jr. If you look, he's currently in sixth place in practice right now out there. Um, he needs a good run here, and based on
I
the
think I think he I
practice
think he can
times,
have one.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
he
if
can
he's
have one. I mean,
he's like I
he's
said, he's sixth fastest right now. This is
and he's
you know
proven to us this season that he's capable, Jim.
yeah. No, I
He's
think he's
proven
in a
to
good
us that
spot.
I
Um,
agree, and
I'm kind of
you know
surprised, to be honest with you, that Will Kirk is sitting there. Captain Kirk.
he's been chipping away. He's been keeping himself nice and consistent this season to this point. Now he's not in the field this evening, so he
No,
will
he's
drop
not.
out of that top
Oh, he
16.
sure
So
will.
it means that Michigan next week it is going to take a significant drive to get him within the top 16 once again. Now, Dakota Floyd's not here tonight, but as we said, he is
He's
locked
in
into the
chat.
chase. He's in chat with us, but he is locked into the chase. He has enough points gap that he cannot race. He can not race this week and next week, and he's still in the chase to the end of the season. So he sits in a great position. Of course, to this
Yeah.
point, we sit at a 50 percentile for how many different winners we've had this season. We've had three multiple time winners: Keaton Tripp with three, Lehman with two, Michael with two, Spain, Glazer, Modicek, Milford Jr., Floyd, and Smith. Now, the other important factor to speak about too as well, Jim, is for James Lehman. So he was on the list of
Yes.
drivers in the chase. He's been taken out of the list
Looks
because
that
he's had
way.
to
Yeah.
go to his he's had to go away for his
Yeah.
military
Military.
service duties. So because that's happened, that has brought Milford Jr. into that top 16. Now there's only a 4 point difference between himself and Watts. There's a 1 point difference between himself and Spain. Based on his pace in practice, I'm going to put the nail on the head and I'm going to say that Milford Jr. will be within the chase bubble for next week at Michigan.
I would think
It
so. Yeah.
depends.
I
It
mean,
depends how well Jack Watts can drive comparatively to Gordon Spain. Now, I'm not seeing Jack Watts in the field this week. So
yeah,
with
he's in
him
there.
away,
I just
oh,
saw
he's in
him.
there. He's in there. Yes, yes, he is. Yes,
I
he is
just
indeed
saw
in
him
the
second
77
ago. Yeah.
entry. Yes, yes.
As soon
So
as you
he's
said
in
that
the
Kirk
field this
wasn't here, I
evening.
was like, "Ooh, that's gonna be good for Jack Watts."
Oh, that's right. It's also good for Spain because it gives Spain one more car that he doesn't need to beat to remain in that top 16. But the issue is Jack Watts has had some great pace as of late. He's had some fairly decent runs, and the fact that Tommy Cook is here as well, that's going to put some pressure on Spain too. So they're going to be the main drivers for keeping an eye on tonight. Are those bubble drivers? The top 12, relatively speaking, are locked in. The 9th through 12th are at pressure. They've got to perform this week. If they perform this week, Jim, then next week when we go to Michigan, they're going to be fairly safe.
Oh, I would
But
think
yeah,
I
those
would think most of those guys are probably even safe at this point. It would take some
yeah.
disaster.
The issue would be is how well do they know Pocono? How well can they attack Pocono, and can they survive the tricky triangle?
Well,
That's going to be
this guy
a
knows it
major
right
factor.
here.
He does indeed. Justin Michael, two-time winner at this circuit. He wants to get his third race win of the season. He sets the fastest lap in qualifying thus far, a 54.83. Jack Watts has failed to set his first time, by the way, Jimmy. He's actually made a mistake through turn 3, so he's had to reset and now have another crack at it this time by. But for Michael, well, the only driver that's challenged him at this stage is Nathan Carroll, but he's still 2 tenths off the pace. There goes Tripp up to P2, Smith into P4. Now, again, if they were to take a race win tonight, Jim, it's only going to be for bragging rights. It's not even going to mean much to them. They're locked into that chase format, as we said. And we've seen over the last few weeks, Tripp's been able to really roll the dice on his strategies, maybe plan for some differing strategies at some of those circuits that we've got coming up in the chase, like some of those short tracks. And he's trying to attempt to use those strategies maybe as a learning curve going forward to see how he can strategize going throughout the chase and strategize how he can make as many points as possible throughout those 5 rounds. I think one of the key factors is, Jim, as we said, Justin Michael's going to be the one to watch. I mean, there are 2 short tracks on that schedule
Yes.
for the chase.
Well, he's good at
Talladega's going to be a crapshoot. Darlington's going to be a bit of a crapshoot, and then Auto Club as well is going to offer up a test. Those 5 races, they're going to be tough, and they're going to be, 5 races that, when we get into May, they're going to be some absolutely wicked television, because the championship's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire when we get out to Auto Club, and ultimately, consistency is going to be key across the 5 rounds. It's probably going to take the most well-rounded driver is going to come out the other side as a winner or as a victor in the championship.
Well, let's see. Milfelt put himself 6th fastest, which is exactly where he was at in practice. So, as we're starting to see, most of these guys have knocked their laps out. This is a big track, so let's take a look at Jack Watts. I think he's got that.
Well, Gordon Spain, by the way, has gone 19th, but he has just been dropped down by the last 3 cars across the line, including Chris Walker, who's now gone up into P7 as well. Watts, Patton, Wagner, Groover, Maul, and Lee are yet to set times here in qualifying. So they've got a little bit of work to do to try and put some pressure on Spain and maybe situate themselves nicely. Some EOLs talk about tonight. The 23 of Nees has still not completed his EOL.
Get a lap.
He's not set a lap, so that's going to take some effort for him to try and work this out. For Nees, though, he's still not completed his EOL. The 28 of Voiles as well, the 30 of Tyler, the 38 of Spain. So Spain will have to start at the back of the field anyway. Terheimer in the 75, the 97 of Bed, and the 199 of Haynes. And I think that EOL for Spain is coming off of the fact that he had that absolutely horrid moment through turn 2 last week, which caused one of our cautions. So that'll be why he's got that EOL penalty coming his way this evening and why he will be starting from the back of the field. The lucky thing for Jack Watts is he will start ahead of Gordon Spain because the EOL will place Spain behind him since Watts does not have one overhanging his head. So he will be starting on the front foot, but Spain will be on his tail from the get-go.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's so much speculation involved here, especially typically the guys that we're talking about don't necessarily, like Spain. This isn't a kind of track where you would expect him to perform well. So, it's kind of a wait and see, who knows kind of situation. I am waiting to see, him step up with an effort that shows that he deserves to be in the chase, if I'm being honest. Okay.
Well, time will tell, and we'll see where he can end up. We await our starting grid this evening. To no one's surprise, though, Justin Michael and Keaton Tripp are on the front row. The top 2 in the championship battle are sitting up there at the moment. Michael into pole, Tripp into P2. Second row of the grid, we will find ourselves with Nathan.
Apparently, the software is deciding to bug out.
Oh, well. Nathan Carroll and Scott Patton will then start on the second row of the grid. Row 3, in behind them, we will find Heath Smith and Chris Howe. Great race for Heath Smith last week. Won the race, of course. He'll start inside of the top 5 alongside Howe here tonight. Milfeld Jr., Chris Walker, then for the 4th row of the grid. And to making up our top 10 for row 5, in behind them, it's Josh Fracker and Josh Modacek. And all Josh an all Josh row 5 and an all Josh making up the top 10. Behind them, Krishan Elliott, Riley Laverne for the top 12. Krishan sits well tonight to lock himself into the chase, beginning in a few weeks' time. Bentley Glazer, James Durr, then the top 14 for row 7 into row 8. And for the top 15, Austin Wagner will make up that position alongside Charlie Winder in P16 alongside him as well. Row 9, we find John Schoenbachler and Parker Donaldson then for the top 18 cars. And for the top 20 on row 10, find ourselves with Jeff Hollingsworth and Tommy Cook in behind them. Row 11 for the top 22, it is Billy Bumgarner and Tyrone Harris. To row 12, we look back to the likes of CJ McLaughlin and Gordon Spain for the top 24. Row 13, we'll find Brandon Groover and Kerry Cleaver for the top 26. To row 14 and the top 28 cars on the grid, it's Paul Crumray and Greg Moore alongside each other inside the top 28. Top 30 made up by Jack Watts and TJ Lee Jr. for the row 15. Row 16, we'll finally find Zachary Groover in P31. As we said, there are some EOLs to come the way of some drivers here tonight, including Gordon Spain, who we mentioned, Jim. So he will have to traverse his way to the back of the field. He's just attempting to do that right now on the outside of turn 1. For Michael and Tripp, there's less pressure on them now. They're locked in. They know they're in the chase. They know they're going to make the chase in a few weeks' time. Can they maximize across the next few weeks and really put themselves into a groove to try and win themselves a championship? Well, that is going to be the test. That's going to be the pressure pot that's on offer here tonight out of Pocono Raceway. If you enjoy what you see this evening, or if you've watched us all season long and you haven't done so already, hit the like button to subscribe, the bell icon too. This championship is coming down to the absolute wire, with chase positions still available next week at Michigan and tonight here at Pocono as well. Justin Michaels coming into pit lane. Why is he running down on the apron? Surely not. Surely not. Why would he be running on the apron? He's not actually. He's trying to tease us. He's trying to make fun of us, Jim. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. Let's penalize him. It'd be funny if they did give him a penalty.
Give him an EOL. Well, it's claimed green flag on my end, Jim, but the pace truck actually hasn't come in yet.
No.
So I think he actually did that to try and cause the truck to stay out for an extra lap, as I don't believe the EOLs were completed just yet. So I think Gordon Spain actually did that.
Well, to be honest,
he
he may have pulled off so that he could, because he is one of the admins, maybe he had to trigger the pace truck to stay out or something, and he didn't want somebody, he didn't want to hit something or hit somebody while he was out on track, so maybe I don't know. Yeah. But he is one of the admins, so clearly they are going one more lap on the pace truck. So
I would make the assumption maybe they just forgot to set it as a 2-lap rolling start instead of being a 1-lap rolling start. But
yeah, I mean, luckily we were done and dusted this week. Of course, of course, as you always see, is the end of the season years, the numbers drop off a little bit in these leagues. I mean, we only got 31 drivers tonight, although I think track popularity, I think there's a lot of people that don't like Pocono, that don't get around good here.
It's a tough track. It's
not
an easy one.
I never found it to be tough. It's so weird. I don't know why, but I love this place, man. The only real issues I ever have here is late in a tire run coming off turn 3. It will throw you out to the wall if you're not careful. But I mean, I don't know. I love getting around this place.
Well, it's interesting. I associate Pocono with IndyCar more than I do with NASCAR for whatever reason.
I race IndyCars here a lot, actually. Whenever I see there's an IndyCar official here, I usually jump in.
Well, pace truck will be looking to come into pit road. We'll be hoping to get to green flag running this lap by. Will he come in? He will. A very aggressive exit of the lane for the pace truck. It's green flagged up Pocono as we are underway for round 14 of season 5. Great run off the start line for Michael. Tripp looks to go with him as we're 2 line astern down towards turn 1 for the first time. Can they keep it clean? Can they keep it mean? Or are we going to get early cautions aplenty? They're 3 wide already, Jim, through turn 1 further back. Unbelievable stuff. As Josh Modicek is already looking for an aggressive move on Fracker, with Laverne putting pressure on them as well.
Wow, yeah, look at this mess here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of position changes here, but, cold, well, of course, their tires aren't as cold because they did an extra pace lap, which helps. But, yeah, this place can be difficult on cold tires, too.
So Michael's now dropped out of the race lead in behind Patton and Tripp, who lead the way. Carroll Howe, the top 5. Of course, Carroll coming off the back of a race ban last week. He joined us in the booth for the race.
Did a good job, by the way.
Probably took a little bit of learning. He did a pretty good job, will be said. And probably took a little bit of learning coming into this week's race as well. But luckily for him, he sat in a pretty healthy position in terms of the championship battle to get into the chase for the final 5 rounds of the season. Of course, regular season, as we said, completes next week out at Michigan. We'll have a week off and then we'll return out at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the first round of the chase. So that's going to be exciting times going forward as well. 2 wide action already here through turn 2 as Austin Wagner looks to make moves early on the 95 entry. Just just alongside him there of Charlie Widner. So hopefully he can make this move stick and try and get another position for himself.
As I cut away, they were 3 wide. Look at this.
Oh, they're still 3 wide down the main straight. They go, their caution. Big wreck on the main straight. Chris Walker's gone into the wall right over the start-finish line. Yellow flag, caution's out. Pace truck returns to the circuit. You had a feeling, Jim, it was only a matter of time before it happened, just based on how they were attacking this place and just based on how the pack was racing amongst each other.
Yeah, and actually I think that the crash occurred in front of that 3 wide craziness that we were watching.
It did. Somehow they made it through. I don't know how they did it. Somehow they made it through. It was
what happened.
wild, absolutely wild that this has happened. So Walker,
get a better angle here. All right, let's see.
So just a little bit of overrun. Modicek's trying to get off the wall, and Walker's crowding him there. We'd have to check if Walker really squeezes him against the wall. If he doesn't squeeze him, then the onus is going to be on Modicek because it looks like he came off the wall slightly down the straight.
We'll do this again, and this time we'll go on board with Walker here. See if that's going to help us.
Oh. It's a tough one to call. It is a tough one to call.
Let's see. Let me find Modicek here. Okay, he's here. So
I'm just watching now. So Walker runs wide, clips the wall. That unsettles him. Modicek then will look to go for that inside to the wall. Will try and go for the gap, and Walker tries to reset himself and squeeze himself back to the wall again. So I actually think there may be a little bit of onus on both drivers because you see there he goes for the gap, but then Walker looks to plan to come back again towards the wall.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's a tough one to call. I think it's a bit of a racing incident.
I mean, it is a racing incident. I mean, if I was going to put the onus on anyone there, I would probably put it on Walker because he did bounce off the wall, which, at that point, Modicek was going for a hole since he was coming off the wall and coming down in front of him. I don't know that he was necessarily shooting for the gap as much as he was attempting to avoid getting hit.
He just kept the foot in it. Yeah, he just kept the foot into it and saw where the gap was being created. A couple of cars are in the pit road now as well. Modicek, Walker, Bumgarner, Maul, and Groover. So the 3 of them are taking maybe a strategic stop here for Bumgarner, Maul, and Groover. Although Groover has been in there for 20 seconds, so this is a significant stop for him. Way too long, if you ask me. So something's happened to him.
So was he involved in that in any way, shape,
No.
or form?
What's funny is Walker was the only one with Modicek that would have actually gotten damage.
Well, let's see. Maybe there was something else that we didn't see.
There might have been. I mean, they were staggered nearly 4 wide through turn 3. There was 3 wide action further up the order as well. But this could have been dangerous because they're all tucked in behind each other. You see them maneuvering.
Like he has damage right behind that right front tire, or am I tripping? That's just a paint scheme.
I don't know.
Maybe.
There may be a little bit of damage, but he's been in there for over a minute, so that would not say anything to me that
he's clearly working on the truck, obviously.
Well, if he had that much damage on the car, you just use the fast repair.
Well, see, but no, you don't. That's the thing. You got so much time because of how long this pace lap is.
Well, he's exiting pit road now, and he's going to exit before the pace truck actually comes past.
Right, so he's fine.
So he will remain on the lead lap.
See, at a place like this, that you can save that fast repair, man, because they're going to have cautions tonight too. But
they will.
So, good old NASCAR strategy is, well, in real life, of course, there's no fast repair. You just got to work these caution flags and repair your truck, I know you remember if we go back to one of the very first NASCAR races you and I ever did together, we were talking about that, and I was like, you could work on it because it was you and I don't remember who, but it was said, the race is over because they wrecked, and I'm like, no, man, there's plenty of time to fix that thing, and that driver ended up fixing the truck and coming back at our car and coming back and winning the race, which was funny, but.
Well, I've seen many times before that,
yeah,
especially at certain circuits, you can get in there and get it fixed up.
Yeah, this is definitely one of them. for sure.
This is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Talladega's another, and then Daytona's another as well.
I
Those really
would
big
guess that
circuits.
the lap here is probably the pace lap is probably longer here than it is.
It's long. It's
even-
longer than anywhere.
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
would
I think it is even longer than Talladega.
Well, because they don't have to go. They don't go as fast here either. You know, like on the pace lap, you have to maintain a certain speed at Talladega and Daytona just to stay up on the banking. You know. But yeah, I will see. I mean, I don't know. Clearly, he was doing something in there. Chris Walker is still in there, so he chose not to use his faster.
Well, he may have also determined that his race could be over. I mean, he's already gone a lap down. He's been in there for over 3 minutes, so significant damage. It would take him another 2 cautions to get back onto the lead lap, ultimately, because
wait a minute, why?
he's at pressure going another lap down now. He's not exited pit lane, and the whole field's about to go green, so they're going to be at full pace once again. Keaton Tripp gets us underway. Green flag at Pocono as we begin lap 6 of 60, the 10th of the way marker here this evening. Chris Walker has not exited pit lane. He's gone a lap down on the race leaders as we enter turn 1 once again, and it's too wide for Carroll and Patton at the front end of town.
Yeah, I would not push it here that early, especially if you've got pace here. You know, don't put yourself in a dangerous situation, which there's plenty of that going on anyway out here.
Well, I mean, not just a dangerous situation. Don't put yourself at risk in a low percentile move. You've still got 54 laps to go when we cross the line. You
Right.
may as well keep yourself neat and tidy. As it's already a caution. Jack Watts is one of the cars involved. It's a big one on the back stretch.
That's not good.
As Gordon Spain, I believe, as well, might have also been involved too. I'm unsure how it's all come about, but Spain is the one that brought out the flag.
Yeah. I think that. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, this could be completely detrimental to Spain's.
Oh, actually, he wasn't even the one that's caused this.
No,
he's just been caught up in the wreck.
Yeah. Yep. Look at him. Just that old truck's getting beat up too. All right, so now I was looking at Spain the whole time. Let's go back and look at this from the air, and let's see what happened here.
So we see one of those WMV
right in the rear
cars.
there.
Yeah. So there was a touch on that car and behind the WMV entry. That's then given a knock to the WMV car. That's then spun them into the wall. Was that Crumray?
41 is the guy who Brandon Groover is the one who hit the car behind.
Yes, it was.
Behind.
And I believe the car that spun round.
All right, so the white and black looking truck there, that's the.
Yes.
Is it the. I don't know, I can't tell the number on it.
I think that may be. Well, we'll do our investigations here just to try and figure this out.
I'm going to go back and, well, we've seen the wreck, and I'll let you dig through. And did you send me a link tonight or no?
I did send you a link.
Well, you know what?
That's fine. I'm currently searching anyway. I'm on Far Chase, so it doesn't look very good for TV.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to set it up. I didn't even put it in. So
I think it might have been Kerry Cleaver. I think it may have been Kerry. It was Kerry Cleaver. So Cleaver gets the knock from the 41. That knocks him into CJ McLaughlin, who goes into the wall, then into Watts in the 77. And then Spain gets caught up from Groover, who double taps within this incident. And getting caught up in it as well was also the 68. So for my money, the one that's going to get this big penalty is going to be Brandon Groover.
yes.
Should probably get a double stack penalty because he's caused 2 cars
Well, I don't know if they do it like
to have
that.
a wreck amongst those 5 cars. But if they, regardless,
I
however they
think
do
that
it,
the question at hand, if you were race controlling, is did the car in front of him that he bumped, did they slow? You know, did they all of a sudden get off the throttle because of, you know, whatever? And so I think that's the question at hand is that what caused him to hit him in the rear? You know, so you'd have to do some investigating and look at their on board and see if they got off the throttle or what have you.
Well, it's still a significant moment, a significant incident as well.
Very much
Multiple
so.
cars have now been into pit road to fix up their car here tonight as well. Cleaver, Lee, Groover, McLaughlin, Crumray, Watts are all in pit road right now. Groover, by the way, is now a lap down and I believe out of this race. So Brandon Groover is out of the race after causing such an incident and after causing such a debacle for them as well. So he's actually out of the race. He's pulled out of the race after that one. So I'm sure that'll be disappointing for some drivers out there, knowing of what that's caused. But
what did that do?
That's racing.
Is he anywhere in the points situation? Give it a minute. It'll pull up. Here we go. So,
no, he's not. He's not in there. He's not in that top 22.
Okay.
But he's caught out 2 drivers who are within that top 22.
Yes.
That's
so
the
you know
issue.
what I'm going to do here? I'm going to bump this from 20. I'm going to 24 drivers because I want to see who's just even a little further out there. You know what I mean?
Well, Laverne and Haynes
Yeah.
on that bubble. Fracker is within it as well.
Yeah, and where's Fracker at? He was running pretty well, I thought.
He's up the order. He's within the top 10, so he's going to be someone to challenge for that positioning.
Well, see, that's what I love about this. It gets so exciting this time of the year, you know. I mean, literally, these guys are fighting for their life. And, you know, if we don't talk about it, you know, nobody even realizes you're watching this. You don't realize that Joshua Fracker is sweating trying to get, you know, I mean, it's literally his whole season's on the line.
The adjustment for these points is Lehman in P5, of course, is out. He's not actually amongst that top 16.
That's true, yeah.
So we need to look down to P17 to where the true top 16 is.
Yep.
So Melfeld Jr. obviously came into this race on the bubble. He sits pretty comfortably now to maintain bubble position and even challenge the top 12. It's the disappointing factor for Jack Watts, who's just been knocked back to the rear of the field, and for Gordon Spain to get such a lifeline after even being involved in that incident in any form. Rod Mitten, although not here this evening, is not going to put the pressure on Jack Watts tonight. No. Billy Bumgarner is, but he's currently ahead of Watts. Same for Show and Backler too. It's going to be super tight between them going forward, but Josh Fracker is going to be the one to watch tonight to sneak into that top 16 with one regular round to go. Lap 9 of 60 though. Green flag running once again. Keaton Tripp has got this underway. And it was a horrid start for Scott Patton. A great restart for Carroll, though, who's going to go on the outside at turn 1. Can he hang on to position? Is he going to sneak his way into P2? Patton wants to have a word about it, and he wants to hold position in that Stone River entry. 2 wide down the back stretch now. Watch for Justin Michael as well. He'll just be planning the long game here, playing this safe,
he got trapped.
Strong, strategic game.
He got trapped behind Scott Patton there a little bit, and so he couldn't get going either because Patton didn't really get going in front of him, and it caused Michael to be late getting on the throttle, which, you know, is kind of a snowball effect. It slowed him up more than it slowed Patton up, you know.
Well, we are currently 8 laps away from the stage end. Lap 18 is the stage end this evening as we cross the start-finish line. Once again, Justin Michael putting that pressure on Scott Patton now down the main stretch. See a few other drivers darting in and out of position as well, trying to maybe find a little sneaky line in towards turn 1 as Patton and Carroll continue to run 2 wide. Michael almost makes it staggered 3 wide through here as well. Can't quite get the run though. He thought about it and thought the betterment of it. Decided just to tuck back in and behind, maintain the position, keep your safe spot for points, and try and push on further forward. With Heath Smith now on his heels, Heath will be hoping that he can maybe just maintain some good points this week after his win last week, of course. He became our 9th different race winner of the season. We get one more, we'll go 10. It'll be a guaranteed 50% win rate for different drivers this season. An unbelievable statistic.
It really is, because, you know, most of these leagues, they're typically dominated by a couple of guys, you know, and if you were to to throw out the winners, you know, we could easily name a couple of guys who you would think were dominating, but, you know, in reality, the wins have been spread. Ooh, my goodness, man. Joshua Frackler.
I tell you what,
that thing is wiggling
great
all over
move.
the place.
Great move, by the way, for Justin Michael. So Carroll and Tripp went to the inside of the main straight. Carroll stayed with him to get some toe. Michael went with them too to get the draft. Patton was caught on the outside with no one to draft with. That's what's pulled Justin Michael now up into P3. So he followed those two leaders to get himself forward and onto the podium. Scott Patton is now just tucked back in and behind with Heath Smith on his heels. Howell up there as well. Milfelt Jr., Fracker, Elliott, and Laverne make up the top 10. Glazer, Wagner, Widner, Hollingsworth, Durr, the top 15.
Did we mention in pre-race that Justin Michael won the last two races that they done here?
We did. Two-time winner of this race. Looks to get his third win of the season and join that illustrious three-time winners list with Keaton Tripp this season. Been a great run thus far for Keaton. I'd be interested to know, Jim, after next week, I might have to get the admins to give you some information on this, the most amount of different winners in a season, but also the most amount of multiple wins a driver has taken in a single season as well. That'd be an interesting statistic to find out going into the chase for the final 5 rounds. Of course, they would still count as regular season wins. So there could be an opportunity still for someone, if they could, you know, just completely lock out the chase.
Oh, yeah.
Tripp could get to 8 race wins in a single season, which would be a very tantalizing statistic for us to have, because it would put him on the 50% list. As those front 3, by the way, are running very close to the wall, Jim, down the main straight. I've got to say, I'm keeping an eye on them at the moment. They got millimeters away from that inside wall to pit lane. An unbelievable pressure for those front runners, but you can see as well, pressure's forming in behind. Bentley Glazer has been trying to fight his way forward, as has Charlie Widner, who's battling with Hollingsworth as well. So there's some tough battles all throughout the field, but pressure's on them now to perform throughout the rest of this race as well, as lap 15 will begin momentarily.
Yeah, we're almost there, man. Stage break's coming up here in just 3 laps.
Slowly but surely, it'll be approaching. And as they continue to... I told you, they're going right up against the wall.
No, but that whole... Why did they come all the way down to the pit road wall?
That's what they've been doing.
Well, it's an interesting run. I've run a lot of laps here. I've won races here. I've sat on pole here. I have never. I don't understand. Unless they're trying to break the draft of the truck behind them, potentially.
They're trying to break some toe. They're trying to keep themselves inside the fight and maybe put a little bit of pressure on the other drivers as well. I think what's trying to happen is maybe they're just, trying to break that toe as best they can, but it's a very aggressive. Drivers are coming into pit lane now. Carroll, Laverne, Wagner, Motacek, Donaldson, they're all into pit road.
That's some kind of strategy. They're going to stay out.
2 laps to go on the stage. They're going to stay out at the stage. So they're going to try and jump these leaders by staying out at the stage break.
I got to say, I like that move. This is
it's a caution. We've got a caution, Jim.
Oh my God!
Yellow flag's out. Stage is going to end early. This is going to play an absolute ball game for them.
Oh yeah, this is going to absolutely.
This is going to play into their hands straight away.
Yep. This is big time going to work.
This could not have come at a better time for Nathan Carroll, who was challenging for the race lead. Because Tripp cannot come into pit lane just yet. He has to wait for the pace truck to pick him up.
Didn't he say, right. Didn't he say we could drag him in?
Nathan Carroll.
Yeah, when we had him last week, didn't he say that we could drag him in if we wanted to?
I believe he did. I believe he did say that.
So where is he? I'm looking. I don't see him. Oh, he's way down towards the bottom in the WMV thing. I tell you what.
Hello, Nathan.
Let's.
I've already dragged him in.
Oh, he's already here.
Hello, Nathan.
How we doing, guys?
Hey,
This
man.
caution could not have come out at a better time for you, could it?
Yeah, we sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the pace car here. We all planned on flipping the stage right there, and yeah, the caution comes out, so that makes it even better. So we should all me and my teammates cycle to the front here.
Yeah, clearly that was a planned strategy there. I like the way you guys executed that, and I loved it. As soon as I realized what you were doing, I thought it was fantastic. So I guess my question is, you really weren't worried about the stage points, but now, well, no, the stage will be settled, so they'll still get their stage points, I guess, then. But yeah, great strategy. You want to, now that it's over and done, you want to kind of enlighten us to what your thought process as a team was there?
Well, we've got a lot of trucks, so with clean air and track position being so important, I feel like if we had all of our trucks at the front of the field, it'd be harder for any of our competition to chase us down. It makes it at least more feasible for at least one of us to podium or win the race. So, yeah, that's the mission. Looks like, looking right now, see who's staying out.
Looks like you're the first one to stay out. Huh? No. Yeah, the other cars are lapped, I think. You're the first one, it looks like.
72 up here.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes. I'm trying to figure it out too. So.
Yeah, no. From what I see, you're going to be P1 for sure. Everybody else is a lapper. You're the first car on the lead lap that stayed out. So, yeah, it's a great, cool strategy, man. And yeah, we wanted to pull you up here. I couldn't remember if you said it was okay last week or not. I couldn't remember if you said it was, but I figured, what the hell, it's a caution, so we're all right. But,
always okay.
Yeah. No, I like the strategy. What do you, without giving away any real secrets, what do you estimate you can do on fuel mileage? My calculations turned up something about 26 laps. Is that about right?
Well, Jamie, just remind me I should probably start clutching here. But yeah, I think
I'm glad I can help.
I think it's going to be around 22 to 25 laps.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're saving fuel, you could probably go further than that. I don't really know how much, but
right.
There's been a lot of yellows, and I'm not convinced that'll change.
Right.
But
yeah, me either.
We'll see how it plays out. It's a one-stop race, I believe, from here. So
yeah,
if we were
from
to
here,
pit,
so one more stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for letting us pull you in. We appreciate it. Be interested now to see how your strategy plays out. And thanks again for joining us last week in the booth. And good luck tonight.
Absolutely, guys. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
No worries. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Just double check I did put him in the right channel. That's fine. Very good.
He can figure his way out. They'll pull him back.
But that couldn't have come out at a better time.
It was going to work out the same, really, either way. It
was.
So,
but it meant that he got it for free, pretty much.
Yeah, unfortunately, what I didn't get to
flag.
capture was I did not get to capture who the 10 stage point winners were because I didn't isolate.
I think technically it was the 10 that didn't pit.
Yes,
because the stage ended early. So
I just didn't get to see who that was, unfortunately.
I do know that Keaton Tripp won the stage.
Yes,
I know that.
Justin Michael would be there.
Scott Patton as well.
Yeah, let me see. I might have a little.
Heath Smith would have been up there. So
Let me see if this is real quick. So where did
pressure's on now.
All right,
for
so here, I'm gonna try something here and just see if this works. No, it did not. Never mind. Well, oh, hold on. Let me try something else.
So interestingly enough, Justin Michaels had a much longer run through pit lane and has actually dropped now down to P18. He's down 17 positions after this stage.
Wait, what?
So this has not worked out well for him. He's down in P18.
18 minutes. 18 seconds.
18 seconds in pit lane and over a minute in the traverse. So that's a long run for Justin Michael through pit road. So something's happened that's affected him.
Hey, I tell you what, go back to when they pitted and isolate him on your camera and watch it and see if you see, like, maybe he overshot his box or something, and if you do, just let me know. I'll keep the camera on up here at the front as we go back to green flag racing here.
Well, as we get ready for the green flag, we've set ourselves up for a restack and a re-rack scenario off of the stage end. It ended early. We're on to lap 19. It'll be lap 20 when we go green flag here out at Pocono Raceway. 41 laps to go. Who can take home the chocolates as the second stage of this race is now underway?
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting stage here, because cautions and saving fuel and all those things that we were just talking about is going to come into play.
So I've found it, Jim, and I've found what's happened.
Okay. Well,
So I'm just going to reverse back, and I'll tell you to put it on screen in just a moment's time. I've got it now. I've got it up now, ready to go.
Okay.
So we can keep an eye on it here off of this pit lane. It was a massive debacle in pit lane for Justin Michael. So you see him come in very aggressive on entry. You saw it come behind. That was Scott Patton, who also spun it around. Michael did the same thing. So both of them compression locked the rear end of their trucks. They had to get them fixed up before they could get the service done in pit lane. That's cost them both massive time through pit road and cost them many positions throughout this race as well. And now Michael's having to work his way forward, as is Patton, who's in a real struggle street moment right now.
Wow, man. That is crazy. That's just crazy that happened. Really,
Michael, he's on the move.
Yeah, well, he's fast. But the thing is, man, this is where you can get caught up in somebody's stupidity.
He's put himself in the danger zone now, because he's right in the mid pack. It's where it's been quite chaotic throughout this race. He's got to play this smart. He's got to try and race this thing smart now and pick his lines correctly as Maul tucks the wall. He's right on board with Michael as he looks to go 3 wide into towards turn 1. Span on the inside, Maul on the outside. Can he survive this moment as we see the fighting continue here? Tucks it up the inside then of Parker Donaldson as well off the exit of that 3 wide action. Michael is an aggressive attacker right now as he's trying to make moves as they're 3 wide ahead of him as well.
That's the moves of a man who knows he's in the chase and he's driving back to the front to try to win this race. That's exactly what
he wants a 3rd win in a row here at Pocono. Gives a little door to Spain, who is inside. And just again continuing to push this thing to its absolute limit. Maul and Donaldson side by side ahead of him as well.
Do you have your driver box that you can put up or no?
Let's see.
Driver details?
I'm not sure if I do. Let's see.
Just just so you know, folks, the driver details that you see on the bottom of the screen there, is for the picture on the left-hand side, what we would consider the main camera. And yeah, there you go. And then you can see in the second window now driver details from that particular camera. So that kind of gives you an idea who we're following here on both cameras.
Well, for Justin Michael, he's continuing to try and apply pressure as he pushes his way forward towards the top 10. He is 3 positions away from that top 10 position. Tripp's already up to P2, by the way, on the tail of Nathan Carroll, so he's putting pressure on him now for P1 on the road. Watch for Josh Modacek as well. Hollingsworth, Milfelt Jr., Smith, McLaughlin, Howe, Elliott and Laverne still sit inside of the top 10.
Little bump draft there from Keaton Tripp going down the straightaway there.
We can see that the 3... Oh, this is the absolute scramble at the moment, Jim. is unbelievable. Mid-pack scramble, you have a feeling that they're only a small mistake away from a big one occurring.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what scares me the most for Justin, getting back there in all of that. I mean, but that's the unfortunate mistake there of driving in there a little too hot and locking it up and spinning it around there. Looks like Tripp is going to make the move here and get by Nathan Carroll. He drove it right on around him there. But Tripp did get back to the front quickly, though.
Well, he's already up into P2, so now to P1. Now. So that strategy of Carroll didn't really work out all too well. He wasn't able to hold position, but he's maintained his position at the front.
It wasn't necessarily about him, though. It was also about all his teammates, about getting them forward in the process too. So
that's true.
I think if you look at it from a team standpoint, I think that they are probably better positioned now, track position-wise, than they would have been had they not done it. I don't think it was as much to benefit Carroll as it was probably some of his teammates that were running a little further back in the pack.
Well, we'll see if that can help them throughout the rest of this race as well. We've got 34 laps to go when we cross the line. Still plenty of time for
I really hope
drivers
this thing goes green to the
imagine it did.
Pit stop cycle.
Imagine it did. I mean, it'd be unbelievable to have that sort of a race to the end. 3 wide action through turn 3. They come.
Look at that. Well, back here with where are you at? This Bentley Glazer thing back here is getting hot and heavy too.
They're all starting to apply the pressure, and you see there. I mean, it's funny, isn't it, Jim? The back end of town, they're all in a single line. Front end are all in a single line, and then this midfield.
Yeah.
Again, they're scrambling like diner eggs. I mean, they are holding position well, but they're battling tooth and nail for it. I mean, it's unbelievable that the mid pack are so hungry for position. They're so feisty in terms of how they're aggressively pushing their way forward. And some of them have just had to tuck back in and say, hey, look, we're going to have to wait for a better chance here because there's no point trying to, ruin these tires or ruin these trucks. Push our way forward. We've still got a pit stop to get home.
And Pocono's tough on tires now.
Pocono's
tough on tires because it's pretty flat. None of these corners are really banked that much. So you're putting a lot of stress on those right side tires here.
Oh, indeed you are. I mean, the tire game is going to be huge tonight. Of course, they have got 3 sets available to them. So they've got 2 extras onto these trucks. So that's going to put a little bit of pressure, I suppose, on those tyre changes. But knowing that it is a 2-stop race, they should be fairly okay, I would say, Jim, to change tyres at each stop and still have some good tyre wear on board these trucks. But the issue is, how do you plan around your stops? Well, you've already gone 18 laps, relatively speaking, on a set of tyres.
Go 20.
Do you go to 36 and then you take 14 to the end, or do you go that little bit longer and maybe offset yourself that little bit more? The problem is you don't want to get caught out without a draft, because if you're without a draft, you'll be dead in the water, being that it is such a heavy power track, and the draft is going to be king. I think ultimately your best choice is go long, plan around how much fuel you're going to need in that final stop, and try and limit how much time you are in pit lane. Will it be enough, though, to cover a full set of tyres? I don't know if it will, because if they can go 26 laps and they went green at lap 19, that takes them to lap 45. You only need 5 laps of tyres. It's only going to cover right side tyres. It won't cover a full set. But I mean, you can see, though, that obviously they're all single line astern. They're probably trying to save a little bit of fuel here.
Oh, I think so.
The question is, can they save enough to get home?
No.
Can they save enough? I mean, they'd have to save 4 laps.
No, more than that.
Oh, more than that, yeah. They'd have to save 6 laps.
8, let's just say the 17 guys. Okay, so then you add 20 more. That's 37. 5 more. 42.
No,
no.
They're never going to save enough.
No, not even, no way. I mean, I would say based on my calculations, you know, I do the research and stuff, and that's you know how we come up with some of our fuel estimations. And my research tells me that 26 laps is on the far side. So
Well, if that's on the far side, I mean, I think the best bet is if you've got a team around you, maybe come in that mid-30s, you know, the 35 to maybe 37. Get the fresh tyres on it, put the fuel in it, and just go to the end. I think that's going to be your best case scenario.
Yeah.
Can you plan around a caution? I don't know if you can plan around a caution.
You know, I think a lot's going to depend on the caution. I would argue that, yeah, that's probably a pretty good strategy. Get in, get it done when you know you can make it home, and then if a caution comes out, you stay out. You're going to get that track position. You know, that's a legitimate, I think, good strategy at a place like this. I like that.
I mean, track position, as we know, is going to be king. Are they going to be able to hang on to it? You know, can they hang on to some good track position whilst maintaining the draft and maintaining good tyre wear as well? That's going to be tough, as one of those trucks has just hit the wall then through the exit of turn 2.
This place is not
green
kind.
car on the
man.
outside.
It will bounce you off the wall here. There's not enough real banking here to, you know, it's not flat, but it's damn close.
I believe that might have been, it wasn't Chris Howe, it was Riley Laverne. We saw him get a little bit wide and just scrape that wall further back at turn 2. So he's now being applied some pressure here from Wagner, Glazer. Spain as well is involved in this. Justin Michael has been trying to seek his way through. Greg Maul is up here as well. So these cars are all in a tight line battle for supremacy and for good points as well. Impressive stuff here from Gordon Spain.
I was going to
up
say,
11
man,
into P4,
I was literally just going to
P13.
bring that up. He is currently running 13th, 12th now. Man, you know, the dude's delivering when he needs to, man. You got to love that. I mean, he's having a good run for himself here. Mike Milfeld Jr., you know, he absolutely needed a good run. He's sitting up here beautifully in 4th place right now.
Doing a fantastic effort. And he's trying to get some good points on the board for himself as well. Now, I wonder how this will affect the points going forward. Obviously, Milfeld Jr. is up into P4. If he can hang on to that, that's going to be solid points tonight for him, Jim.
Yeah, solid.
And may put him well into the chase bubble. What about Spain? What about Watts? What about, you know, Tommy Cook's further down the order now as well? How is this going to reshuffle the points going into that final regular round next week? Because Cook is down the order, right? He's down into P24. He's dropping big points to Jack Watts. He'll be hoping to sneak past him. You know that Will Kirk's not here tonight either. Is that the opportunity that's going to save Tommy Cook, is the fact that Will Kirk is not racing this evening?
I mean, that's a good question. I'm going to pull this back up here real quick, and let's just get back down here. So Billy Bumgartner sitting in 20th, right? And he's way, way off the pace. He's down in 28th place right now. Rod Mitten is not here. Jack Watts is on the back half of the field, but just barely. He's running 17th, 18th right now, something like that. Mike Milfeld's killing it. Spain is doing a damn good job, really, I have to say. Will Kirk is going to drop. Can't lose sight of that since he's not here. Where'd you say Tommy Cook was running currently?
Well, he's back in P23, so he's dropping 6 positions worth of points to Jack Watts.
Fracker's in 16th. Rob Haynes
is not out there.
He's not here tonight. Okay, so
no.
That's going to pretty much eliminate him. Riley Laverne, not here?
He's in P9.
P9, oh. Okay. I'll tell you what, that's the kind of run that could elevate Riley right up into the mix.
The difference being that he's 37 points off of Rob Haynes.
True.
So
but 2 races.
this will bring him to the back of Haynes and Fracker, and then next week it's on at Michigan.
Yeah, and some of those guys up in front of him are gonna drop. You know, the likes of Mitten and Captain Kirk. You know. And, of course, all these positions are modified by 1 because James Lehman is now out of the picture. So there's that as well.
Well, we've got 25 laps to go. 25 of your best that you can put together here at Pocono could set yourself up well with some good points. Just outside of the top 10 now is Gordon Spain, Gordon Spain's just tucked into the top 10 in P10. Laverne has now dropped outside of the 10 into P14. All of a sudden, there's pressure for those drivers who want to sneak their way into the chase bubble. And the question is, will they have a chance at the championship? Can they put it together through that chase? Are they strong enough to put it together? Tell you what, really impressed tonight by the run of Austin Wagner and Krishan Elliott as well. But we've got to talk about Gordon Spain. What a drive, what a resurgence tonight. If he can survive the next 24 laps, he could find himself well safe in that chase bubble heading into Michigan next week, with a great bunch of points on offer as Greg Moll's into pit lane.
That's interesting. 24 to go. No, I mean, he's in the window. I mean, he's there. That's but by himself, that's sketchy.
It is. He's going to have no draft. This will drop him right down the order and possibly a lap down. And the issue for him is then, if we get a caution, he could be trapped a lap down if somebody else comes into pit road. Actually, no, he's not going to.
No, he shouldn't go a lap down.
Okay.
This place is big, man.
I mean,
Tell you what, if you
it?
ever come to the United States and you wanted to go see an interesting track in a very pretty area of the United States, here comes the whole Nathan Carroll team coming down pit road.
Yep, WMV, Carroll, Modacek are in.
No, just those two, really, but still a good plan.
Oh, Schoenbachler's in as well.
Oh, yeah, no, they are. Okay.
And McLaughlin and Lee.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So they got a little draft they're gonna have out there. So they've got a plan that's working. Here, go ahead and put the picture back up and let you maybe focus on some of those guys and see where they're at. This now elevates Justin Michael back up to 4th, 3rd now actually.
And we're really only going to get a good view of where we lie after this pit stop.
Yeah.
Strategies.
I would argue. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this. Best lap time versus last lap time. Tire fall off is huge here. So the undercut is going to be a strong move. And as you can see, Justin Michael and Keaton Tripp are not going to get undercut by Nathan Carroll too much. They're coming.
They're in. Tommy Cook's in as well.
Because every lap, you're talking about almost a 2-second difference in tire speed and in lap times with new tires. So, you run 3 or 4 laps on old tires while somebody's out there on new tires, and you're gonna lose a significant amount of time, potentially 6 or 8 seconds on track.
Well, we can see Nathan Carroll is coming around onto the main stretch. Justin Michael, Keaton Tripp are only just exiting pit road now. Is Nathan Carroll going to jump them both in towards turn 1? He's gotten Keaton Tripp. He's also gotten Justin Michael.
There you go.
So Michael had jumped Tripp in pit lane. Carroll has jumped them both. Modacek and Maul have also jumped Keaton Tripp. We saw Maul come in earlier on lap 36. He's jumped Keaton Tripp. He's taken a 4-second faster pit stop. TJ Lee, by the way, has a black flag, so he'll have to fix that up in pit road as more cars are coming in.
Who had a 4-second faster pit stop, you said? What?
Greg Moll. Greg Moll, who was down the order, has jumped Keaton Tripp in pit lane.
11.4 seconds. That means it only took 2 tires.
Oh, they're wrecking. Justin Michael had a spin.
Oh,
he had a spin on the main stretch. There's a caution. And those cars that are at the front end of town, the whole top 10, are going to have to pit, and they're going to be right at the back of the field now. Because they have to wait
Yep.
for not only themselves to get picked up by the pace truck, but for the whole field to get picked up as well. This is going to kill their race.
So, Nathan Carroll is the default leader.
Yes, he's correct leader at the moment.
Matacek. So Milfelt Jr. got back out. Okay, so he pitted. Okay. Yeah, well, once this shakes out, it's going to be interesting. I'm trying to figure out who the big loser is going to be here.
Krishan Elliott.
Bentley Glazer
He was inside
too.
he was inside the top 10. He's now going to be well outside the top 10 when he inevitably pits.
So Greg Mall must have taken 2 tires.
I think so. I don't think he couldn't have taken 4.
No, I don't think so. We'll pull this up real quick. Yes. We'll take a look real quick and see. Yeah, that was a 2-tire stop for him. Obviously, most of the guys took 4. Interesting strategy by Mall to take 2 there. I don't necessarily dislike it from a tire standpoint. The question is, would he have been able to get enough fuel in 11 seconds to make the rest of this race? Because he pitted on lap 36. Now, this caution is going to help him tremendously.
Well, that's 25 laps to the end.
And I'm telling you, my numbers were 26 is a stretch. That's a good fuel run. I mean, you gotta, so he must be out there clutching the hell out of it right now. Let's just say that.
He would be. I mean, full clutch in.
Yeah, well, shutting
high
it off
gear.
even potentially,
Yeah, quite possibly.
But,
Well, some drivers are coming in who already pit, by the way.
ooh,
Some of those drivers who just pit are in the pit lane as well. There are more drivers than just the top 10 who have
Must
come
be
in.
just topping it off with
McLaughlin,
fuel,
Groover.
huh?
Yeah.
no, they're all
Justin
taking-
Michaels
they're
in
all
to
taking
maybe fix
tires.
up his truck. Well, Michaels in to get some service done on his truck after he spun.
So did we show that? No, we didn't even show that, did we? We showed that.
And well, I had it up on screen when the double screen was up. But
Oh, did you? Okay. Let's focus on him here. Let's go see what happened. Just hung it out there.
Blue through
Oh my
23,
God! Okay.
and then straight in the face of
Yeah, Matacek.
Joshua Motacek.
Wow, that was a big hit.
It
Yeah,
was
no wonder he
very,
came,
very big hit.
Obviously, that question. Well, I guess he was able to. He's still working on it. He's still on pit road. Whether either he doesn't have his fast repair left, or he is, opting to save it just in case, if he can get it fixed in time. Wow. Okay. Yeah,
So-
he's sitting there getting the work done.
He is. It could be race over. I think
Nah.
the three in a row is over at the moment, Jim. That's the gut feeling I have. Less than 20 to go, and he's only just exiting pit road.
Well, he'll be all right as far as that goes. If the truck's fixed, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not quite ready to write him off just yet. He's so fast, and he's obviously loves this place and is fast here. But that was devastating, and can't blame anybody but himself in that situation,
He just got loose and put himself in harm's way. It's how quickly it can change. So Nathan Carroll is now into the race lead. Greg Moll up there with him as well. Keaton Tripp, John Schellenbachler, Cook, Cleaver, Hollingsworth, Milfelt Jr., Smith, and Watts, the top 10. As we get prepped to go green flag again.
in the chat with us. He is a car owner in the XCal League. You should know him from there. He owns 5 cars in the XCal League, and he is his league is going to be one of our newest clients here on Motormouth Broadcasting. He is starting a combination league. It's going to run on Sunday nights. First race is going to be a ARCA Contender Series, and then a Champions Series in the trucks right following it. 2 races back to back. ARCA first, truck second. Yeah, cool. It's going to be a cool concept. It's Flaming Karma. If you want to look them up, they've got a lot of posts on Facebook right now doing some recruiting races, so check those guys out. In fact, I don't think I could probably get him. But yeah, Flaming Karma is the name of the series, and as we go back green here.
Green flag at Pocono once again. 18 laps to go now. Nathan Carroll gets us underway. Greg Maul, Keaton Tripp, putting the pressure on him, but watch for Schoenbachler and Cook. This has worked out fantastic for Tommy Cook, who is one of those bubble contenders for the chase.
Yeah.
Who now finds himself in a battle for the top 5.
Milfeld's just got to stay out of trouble here, man. You know, these guys get aggressive at the end. He doesn't need to put up a big fight and cause himself to get in trouble or anything like that. He has to give up a spot to keep from getting wrecked or something. You know, he probably needs to do it. I tell you what, I'm gonna pull up the picture-in-picture again. Why don't you maybe kind of keep an eye on our friend Justin Michael, and let's see him maybe working his way up through the field and see how that goes, because I got a feeling that's going to be some craziness.
He is starting to fight his way forward. He's up to P25 as he continues to push this car up towards the top 10. Is the 3 wins gone now for Justin Michael here at Pocono? The interesting part is, if he were to win tonight, it'd be his 3rd win in a row here at Pocono, and it would be his 3rd win of the season. Could it be a lucky 3 for Justin, or is he too far away with 2 little laps to go?
I'll tell you what,
to get himself to the
I don't
race
know
lead.
that if he somehow could win this race from where he's at right now after what's happened to him, luck would be the furthest thing from that.
Well, you have to buy a
he's-
lottery ticket because the 91's into the side of him.
Yeah.
CJ McLaughlin.
Oh,
And now he's just dumped Billy Bumgardner up to the wall.
Well, I don't know that he dumped him, but that's just part of the accident, I believe. But
Well,
Caution
we can
flag
get a
is
good
out.
shot of it.
yeah, let's do that here. Okay, so then he comes off the wall. He has no that truck was out of control there. I mean, he obviously did wreck Bumgardner, but it wasn't, that was just strictly that truck was already out.
I'm not saying it's an intentional one,
Yeah,
but it is.
But I'll tell you what, the horrible part about that is Billy Bumgardner's position in points.
Let's watch this. So they go 3 wide.
Yeah. Okay, so
The 91 comes across the nose of Spain, so he self-clears into Michael. Michael's steering may actually be broken there.
yeah, I think he definitely had damage and momentum. Yeah, you can see he's still going that way. He ain't got control of it really at this point. He finally has slowed it down enough to where he's gotten a little bit of control of it. He might have got a black flag there from pit road speed. No, he ain't got to slow it down, I guess. But, wow. Yeah, well, I would say it's over now for sure. That's, that's definitely over now. All right, let's see. Let's get off of this for a minute and let's see what's going on out here. We got any?
Lucky, disappointing,
Yeah, that's,
probably the best words to describe Justin Michael's unfortunate race tonight here at Pocono. Luckily for him, as we said, he is locked into the chase.
oh yeah.
So he's still okay for those final 5 rounds.
I feel bad for Bumgardner there. I really do, man.
Yeah.
Because if you look,
Yeah,
we'll pull the points back up here again. I mean, look where Bumgardner's sitting.
Yeah.
Technically,
right on the
really in
bubble.
19th place because of
Yeah.
the James Lehman thing. I mean, he needed tonight to score some decent points, especially on these guys that were not here, that maybe he could have made up some ground on to help himself. And now he's relegated to potentially not even finishing this race. Who knows, you know? I mean, he's in pit road now. I guess he was able to drive it around, so that's good.
It's a real shame for Bumgardner.
Anybody else involved in that was?
Well, Spain was involved. He's been through pit road as well.
I think he just took 2 tires and topped it off with fuel, probably.
Well, he had the self-clear on him, so he may have had a little bit of damage. Widner, Donaldson, Bumgarner, McLaughlin, Zach River all in pit road. So, yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough.
Yeah, I really feel
race.
for
Heartbreaking at times.
I feel bad for Bumgardner, man. Again, that was no fault of his own. He's just
he was just an innocent party.
And, you know,
he was an innocent party. He was trapped within that point, and yeah, it's just it's a real shame.
Well, I think that you know, got to leave big room at Pocono. That's true. There, the air does suck in and do weird things at Pocono. That is absolutely true. Especially on this, you know, like I said, it's so flat around here. You know, you got the cars really on the edge going through these corners because you don't have that banking holding it up. But you know what? We are going to go back here, and we're going to go back green with probably the lights are still on, so it'll probably be lap 48. You know what we need to do? I think we need to crank it up. I think so. We need to hear the sounds of these engines rumbling through the mountains of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what we need to do. Yeah, by the way, I never did finish my thing earlier. This area is absolutely gorgeous up here in this part of Pennsylvania. It used to be, like back in the 70s, it used to be like the lovers' retreat kind of place where all the honeymooners used to go. It was a big, you know, like that kind of area. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous up in this part of the country. It's a little too cold for me in the winter, but that's another story. But also another reason that this track is so tough on tires. This place gets some hard winters, you know. I mean, definitely well below freezing, lots of snow, you know. So this track is old and beat up.
Well, it's a beat up circuit. It is going to be tough for this final run to the start finish line. It is going to be 12 laps to go when we get green flag running once again off of this pace truck. And ultimately, pressure's on now for some drivers to perform. CJ McLaughlin's out of this race, unfortunately for him, so he'll have to go back to the trailer and maybe brew himself up a little coffee, thanks to the likes of the Roasted Record, to help support us here on Motormouth Broadcasting.
It is absolutely the fuel of Motormouth Broadcasting.
It is the fuel of Motormouth Broadcasting. You can visit them down in person in Stewart, Florida. Get yourself a tune and a brewer. Order off the website using code SIM20 for a 20% off your order as well. Thank you as well to DRE Digital Race Engineer and Track Camps for Gourmets, which help us bring everything visually to the forefront of your eyes here on Motormouth Broadcasting as well. Green flag running again, 12 to go. Keaton Tripp, Nathan Carroll, Greg Moore. Can any of them take a win, or could Tommy Cook sneak his way through to get himself onto the podium and put himself inside of the top 16 as we crank it up? Well, we have got 10 to go here at Pocono, and pressure's on now for drivers to perform towards the end of this race. The mid-pack scramble continues to put pressure on each other as they look to go almost staggered 4 wide in towards turn 1. And those drivers at the front end of town continue to try and hold on to position. Keaton Tripp looks to go for his 4th win of the season. With 10 laps to go, he looks fairly capable of doing this, but Nathan Carroll will want to be one to put the sword to him, get his 2nd win, and stop Tripp from carrying heavy momentum into the final round of the season next week out at Michigan. You can see, though, the sort of pressure that's being applied in the mid-pack tonight. It's really going to be survival of the fittest here, Jim, over the final 10 laps of this race.
It really is. And I sat there and I glanced over at the area you were covering there and noticed that Scott Patton is sitting back there in 12th place. Obviously, after that horrid pit stop he had on the first pit cycle where he slid in and spun it in the pits, basically. And, you know, he has not recovered from that. He is still, you know, mired back there in mid-pack, and, you know, it's just so dangerous back there. But I just happened to catch him out of the corner of my eye and was thinking, man, what a race it could have been for him versus where he's at now after that mistake.
Could have been an unbelievable performance. You know, top 3 was on the line, and that single mistake, they're the sorts of things that come back to bite you in the end. They're the sorts of mistakes you've got to try and mitigate. You've got to try and balance as best you can as Jack Watts and Gordon Spain continue to fight side by side. Kerry Cleaver's off, and that is a caution.
That is a caution.
With less than 10 to go. So who does this favour now? Who does it favour? Do we see those front runners come in and take us maybe a set of tyres, possibly?
No, but whoever's got some tires back there mid-pack, yeah, maybe. You know, maybe those guys. Maybe a Bentley Glazer if he's got tires, you know, which he should. Any of those guys that have pitted twice. We'll get this off for now. Let's show what happened. Yeah, poor this did not go well for Kerry here at all. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, you had a feeling, Jim, with how they were driving, that this was bound to happen. So Glazer comes up high, hooks the rear. That is a heavy contact.
Issue a warning if you like, because it's coming.
Well, a warning for those who may be of an epileptic or seizure-based reaction to fast-paced movement or flashing. This is going to be a wild ride on board Kerry Cleaver's truck. I mean, this is unbelievably violent. Oh, man.
Look, it just destroyed the motor. Look, the motor
Now, imagine if this was a right-hand drive car, Jim, and you've just gone sideways into a a bundle like that.
I don't care. In real life, doesn't matter right-hand or left-hand drive. That shot right there, that is one of those, like, you know, 80G kind of impacts, you know, that you end up spending time in the hospital because they're literally doing, you know, 170 miles an hour or so there when they hit those barrels, you know. I mean, that is absolutely brutal, man. This place, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe the heaviest impact ever recorded in a NASCAR race accident was Jeff Gordon got into a wreck here, and it was violent. I don't remember the G's involved, but it was massive. If I'm not mistaken, and somebody out there in chat will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if it wasn't Milfeld's coming. No, he's not. Oh, that dirty dog.
Get baited, Jim.
Ooh, I did get baited. I went for it.
You would have followed him in, wouldn't you?
Oh, hell yeah, I was following him in. I mean, to be honest with you, at this point, to me, he's the story of the race. He needed this. You know, he desperately needed this. as did Gordon Spain, which Gordon Spain did come into pit road.
He did. Gordon Spain has come in, as has quite a few other drivers, including Scott Patton as well. Heath Smith, Motocek have all come down pit road. So fresh tyres going on those trucks to get themselves to the end with some fresh rubber and some fresh grip to maybe gain a couple of positions as well. It's 6 laps to go right now under the caution.
This might be pretty good for Gordon Spain, I mean, he's going to have fresh tires out there. He's run pretty well here tonight. I mean, the accident that he was involved in wasn't of his own making,
He's driven incredibly well.
He has. And I don't know. There's something about me that's rooting for Gordon Spain. I don't really know why. I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling for him. I would say we've kind of beat him up a little bit about the fact that he's only a super speedway driver, and that's got to be tough to hear. I mean, you watch these broadcasts, and it's got to be tough to hear. Well, he's not going to perform tonight because he's a super speedway guy, and we said that he was going to struggle here tonight. I'm sure that he came in here wanting to show, and he has. I don't know. There's just something about that that's kind of making me pull for him to get a decent finish. Maybe it's the underdog thing. I've always pulled for an underdog, so. But I'm really excited for Mike Milfelt Jr. We had some fun at his expense earlier in the season. Of course, in the end, we jinxed him right into winning the race, so we did that. So there was that. And wouldn't that be something if he could pull off a win here? Sitting here in third right now with, what are we going to have? 4 laps to go?
Yeah.
Wow.
Possibility of a late
crazy,
caution still. I would be. I mean, it'd be unbelievable. The fact that, Keaton, Tripp, Nathan Carroll have been in such a controlling position throughout this race, you've got to keep an eye on Milfelt and, on that second row. But which lane is going to be preferred? Is the outside going to be better, or is the inside going to be better? I mean,
I don't know that it matters that much because it takes these trucks a while to get wound up here, So I think that they've got time to get through turn one, and so I think either one is okay here. I've never, to be honest with you, never had an issue on one side or the other here that I can think of on a restart. It's just kind of big, and it's there's room to go too wide through these turns, and especially when you're not quite at full ripping speed, especially one. All the turns, one's probably the friendliest here. 2 and 3 are less friendly.
We'll see who can make friends across these final 4 laps, if they can be chosen to be the one to take home a race win, or if anything else can happen in the meantime. It could be an opportunity that we go green-white check it at the end of this race if we do get cautions late here. Could even go overtime if we are ever so lucky. But for the pace truck, it's going to come into pit road momentarily. Keaton Tripp has control of the field. Flags up, green flag, race is on, 4 to go here at Pocono Raceway. And you see Milfelt Jr. already putting the pressure on Carroll in towards turn 1. Tripp immediately went to the high side to cover for Carroll, getting onto that low line. So 4 laps left. Greg Moore and Milfelt battle for P3. Carroll looks to try and challenge for the race lead. Can Keaton Tripp survive 4 laps and become a 4-time winner in this season? It'll be an unbelievable storyline if it were to happen, and would really give him some great momentum going into the final 5 rounds when the chase begins in May.
I have to say, that 2-tire strategy that Greg Moore pulled earlier with these caution flags has really paid off for him, man.
It's paid off well.
He is sitting here in third place. He's up 25 spots. Let's take a look at that real quick. Up 25 spots in the race, running third on that 2-tire strategy he pulled on that pit stop. And man, I'll tell you what, that's cool to see. Good to see.
It worked out so well.
Yeah, it really has. The cautions have really benefited him.
Well, sometimes you've got to play the game of play to the cautions, play to your strategy, and play to trying to gain as much time as possible, keep yourself out of pit lane as much as possible, and limit the time you are in pit road. And that's worked out well for Maul, who looks to set himself up for a move down the inside at turn 2. Can he get the run towards 3 to try and take P2 on the road here? Watch for Chris Howell, who now seeks his way up. He's cooked himself because he had no draft. He had no draft off of the corner. He had no one to push him. And he now has to tuck back into P4 with Howell up on the podium. And look at them all trying to follow him through. It's an absolute scramble. 2 to go at Pocono. Will we get a yellow flag, or will we keep it green to the end?
It's a good question, isn't it? Well, Keaton Tripp's out there in his own zip code, isn't he? Oh, we got a wrecker. That was Milfeld. He held on to it. He held on to it.
He held on to it.
Oh, my God. He's losing massive spots, though.
Half a lap to go before the white flag is out. Yep, Gordon Spain. Good run. Up 6 into P18. Keaton Tripp has one more corner to traverse before guaranteeing the white flag to come out. It is unbelievable how this race has gone, how this season has gone. And for Keaton Tripp, it is white flag. Final lap at Pocono. One more run, 54 seconds away from a 4th win this season. If he does this, it'll put him into the annals of history forever. I mean, realistically, just a fantastic run this season. Championship leader, locked into the chase.
An all-time victory.
An all-time victory. Absolute all-time victory for Keaton Tripp if he maintains this position through turn 3.
Christopher Howell here in 3rd place. We haven't talked about him all night.
What a one for Howell. Through turn 3, Keaton Tripp comes to the start-finish line for the final time. Checkered flag. Keaton Tripp wins it out at Pocono.
Wow, look at him scrambling here. Man, live. Wow. Mike Milfeld Jr., man. Golly. If there was ever a, is that Keaton Tripp spun around and
Wagner hit him. Wagner hit him on turn 1.
Oh man, Milfeld, man, just if there's ever that situation where I threw it away, that was it. Gordon Spain really did not benefit from getting tires. He's finished back there in 18th place. Well, we'll get to that in the results here in a second, but let's see. All right, let's show Keaton Tripp here. We'll get a good shot of him as he's making his, just a victory lap. Yeah, great run for him, man. So that's 4 for Tripp, is that right?
Yep, first to 2, first to 3, first to 4 for Keaton Tripp.
The only 1 to 3, and now, of course, the only 1 to 4.
I mean, the regular season, he'll be the only driver that can get to 4.
Only 1, yeah.
Only 2 other drivers can get to 3.
Sitting back there, Justin Michael has got to be sitting back there going, what in the hell happened, man? I mean,
what could have been for Justin Michael, 2-time winner previously this season and at this circuit, it wasn't to be. Keaton Tripp is a man on a different level this season.
Really is.
4 wins, multiple podiums, multiple stage wins, leads the championship. It almost feels like a Connor Zilic style of season.
Yeah, well,
I'm
sure he hopes that the results don't end up like Connor Zilic.
Oh, that's right.
Missed the championship and broke a shoulder. All right, let's get a look at these point standings here. I mean, results here. All right. Go.
So Keaton Tripp takes his 4th win of the season ahead of Nathan Carroll and Chris Howe. on the podium. It's an all Chevrolet podium here this evening out at Pocono Raceway. Greg Moore, our hard charger tonight. Of course, he was up 23 positions to the end. Most laps led, of course. Keaton Tripp led half the race, or more than half the race, over 2/3 of the race. 46 laps. Scott Patton had the fast lap of the race, though, 54.790. Justin Michael was on pole, has unfortunately not finished up the front end of town. Through 6 cautions and 17 total caution laps, and 4 different lead changes, we find Josh Thacker in P4 ahead of Greg Moore, Austin Wagner, Scott Patton, Krishan Elliott, John Schoenbachler, and Paul Crumray inside of the top 10. That's a great... Just to mention as well, Crumway was a lap down at one point of this race.
There you go.
And he finished P10. What a run. Glazer, Hollingsworth, Modicek, Smith, the top 15 to Jack Watts, Raleigh, Laverne, Gordon, Spain, Michael Milfelt Jr., Cook, Harris, Lee, Widner, Donaldson to Bumgarner, Walker, Cleaver, Zach Groover, McLaughlin, Michael, and Brandon Groover. Never got past lap 7.
So here's one
What a
for
race
you.
to the end. And what a run thus far this season for Keaton Tripp.
If I would have told you halfway through that race that Jack Watts was going to be ahead of Gordon Spain and Michael Milfelt Jr. at the end of this race, you'd have called me crazy. And
I mean, it was just...
And he ended up finishing ahead of both of them. Wow.
He did. He did gain some great points throughout the race and throughout this season. It's now going to put him within the bubble, possibly, of the chase. That's, you know, that there. I mean, it's Michigan next week's going to be an all-timer because now the pressure is on for those final chase positions as we end out April and we head towards May, where chase season begins. It's time to perform. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. It's time to get yourself up the order. Michigan is the best place to start your run to a championship. Start and end your season with some momentum. If you can end your season with momentum and Michigan go into the chase with that momentum, you set yourself up well for New Hampshire, through Talladega, through Richmond, through Darlington, and into Auto Club in the final round. Plenty of opportunity for these drivers to put a championship-winning season together. Chris Howe, our P3 winner here, our P3 position driver here tonight. Chris, welcome in. Congratulations, P3 on the road. What a run to the end. I mean, it's an absolute scramble for the mid-pack. You snuck your way up forward, got yourself into P3, and it's a podium finish for yourself tonight. How does that one feel for you?
Oh, it's a good finish. Another good points night. You know, just trying to string together some good races going into the playoffs. You know, build a little bit of confidence, which, I mean, I have confidence. Just need to get rid of some of the bad luck I've been having, man. Yeah, it was a good night though. I think I was in the top 10, if not like hovering around 5th or 6th most of the night, and just I nailed the restart there at the end. So
you kind of went under the radar tonight, man. We talked about everybody. We did not talk about you, and then all of a sudden I look up here with a couple laps to go, and here you are running in 3rd place, and I'm like, damn, we didn't even talk about him. And then you qualified good. You stayed up there in the top 10, like you said, but for whatever reason, you didn't stick out tonight, which, you know, might be a good thing, you know. But
yeah, I mean,
good finish though. Yeah,
it's just I appreciate it. It's just it's a product of this racing, because if you go back and watch the race, you'll notice like that long stint we had there after the stage, or I think we had a quick caution right after the stage or something like that. And either way, we had one long stint there, and the order got kind of jumbled up, and the fresh tires were kind of like in the 10th position on back, and it took me some time to get through that traffic until I finally got up there. But by that time, the top 6 had already lined up, and they were kind of like checked out. But I was slowly running them down, even though they had that draft going. I was just slowly reeling them in until we got to pit cycle, and I was right on them. Me and Justin had caught up to them, so I knew I had speed. It was just a matter of I just need laps. You know, I don't flash like really fast speed or fast laps, but I'm a very like consistent, methodical type driver. So, yeah, I might go under the radar. So,
well,
because of that.
To be fair though, that's the kind of drivers that, you know, that that it's going to serve you well in the championship hunt. Just consistency and being able to perform on a variety of tracks and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had speed at pretty much every track this year, I think, except for the dirt track. I mean, other than that, I've had speed. I've been up there. I have speed comparable to the top 5. I just haven't had the finishes. I mean, I started the season really strong. I was the lead, points leader for the first few weeks, and just string of bad luck, just getting wrecked a lot. Some of my own doing, some not.
I mean, it's tough sometimes, man. I mean, we've had we've had numerous 43 car fields this year.
Yes.
It's a lot of cars sometimes on the track, and it's easy to get caught up in somebody's mess. So it happens, but solid run again, man. Congratulations on your P3 here tonight. You got anybody you want to thank while we got you in here?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to James Lehman. I know he's deployed right now. I hope he gets a chance to break away from the unit every once in a while and check out the broadcast. And just want to wish him luck and hope he stays safe over there. We appreciate everything him and the armed service do for us. I'm a veteran myself, so I know how it is being away from your family and being away from your loved ones, especially in a hostile area. So just big shout out to him, and then also shout out to the admins of the league, especially the ones that are filling in for him. It's a big shoe to fill,
right?
And
absolutely.
Of course, you guys for doing a good, awesome broadcast. I think y'all have a special event coming up here between us and another league.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. You getting in on that?
I did. I got an invite. I'm thinking about it. Charlotte's not really one of my particular favorite
get in
tracks,
there. It's gonna be fun.
I know it's a good cause, probably, and
it's just good fun.
Show.
It's really just good fun. That's all it's for. Is just for guys to get out there and just have some fun together. Get to know some other guys, and in racing trucks in different leagues. Just good fun.
And to showcase what this league has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. That's going to be fun to see. I'm curious to see. How the two leagues stack up against each other. So that's going to be fun.
Well, I hope you guys keep it going. I hope it doesn't just end with these two leagues clashing here. I hope there's some more outreach.
I tell you, if it goes well, sure, I would love to see that. That'd be kind of fun.
Like a battle of the leagues would be awesome. You get your top 5, top 10 out of your league, and you go battle with each other.
That would be pretty cool,
yeah, it would. And I just want to thank my teammates, Brandon and Zach Groover. Unfortunate for them tonight. They got caught up in some stuff. I'm not sure what exactly happened to them, but of course, thank my family and my friends, and praise the Lord also. And thanks to him, and that's pretty much it, man. I think I rambled on for long enough. Let these other guys get in here second and,
all right, man.
First.
Well, congratulations again. We look to talk to you here soon during the playoffs, and good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Next up, we have P2 on the road here this evening in Nathan Carroll. Nathan, welcome in. P2, great performance from yourself. Good to see the strategy somewhat work that you pulled at the stage break, but couldn't quite get the race win, and now can't quite reach Keaton Tripp with 4 wins this season, in the regular season at least, but still, great performance for yourself. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, that was I really was hoping the race would stay green shortly after you talked to me. We flipped the stage with all the teammates and then called an audible deep into that run after the stage. Josh and I came down and short pitted because we were worried about, some of the guys like Justin that had lost track position to us, short pitting us. And I wanted to short pit Keaton, so he came down, and I came out of turn 3 and was cycling like 2 seconds ahead of Keaton, and Justin was a second and a half back, and I'm like, holy crap. Like, this race stays green 20 laps, probably gonna win this, and then it never does. So
no, it never does.
Yeah, right. I don't know what it is about Pocono. Like we were just talking about it. It gets
flat.
So strung
That's
out.
What it is, though. They still have wrecks because it's so damn flat.
Yeah, I guess, but dude, Keaton was on another level.
He was.
Like, there's always, this is my best finish, P2, so I'm glad I broke the 3rd place curse. But I really wanted to win. I told all my guys, like, one of us is going to win tonight. And Keaton is just, there's always somebody better than you. There's like last season it was Justin and Scott and Dakota, and I feel like I can outrun them and sometimes, and now like Keaton's unstoppable. So it's like a whole new challenge ahead, and looking forward to next season. But yeah, I want to quick shout out to all the team. The whole team came down to flip the stage and create a buffer between us and some of the faster guys, and then Josh came down with me when I called last second to come to pit road. So it's really cool to have guys that they have faith in your decision making, and that it puts us in a good spot. If Justin hadn't wrecked there, it might have been a 1-2 finish for the team. So
Yeah, that was. Well, I tell you, that was. And what a for him, what a interesting turn of events. Just spun it on pit road there a little bit and getting into his pit box and had to reshuffle, and it just kind of all went downhill from there. But so I don't know if it was, I can't find the comment now, but at some point during the race I was rattling off one of my long stories that I do or whatever, and I was talking about the fact that that one of the largest impacts that ever occurred in NASCAR, maybe the largest, happened.
We were talking about that earlier.
Happened here with Jeff Gordon, and somebody in chat said that I said that I thought it was Jeff Gordon. I thought that was the largest impact in NASCAR history. And somebody said Nathan would probably know or something. So I don't know if that was your wife that would have chimed in on that, or
my wife loves my NASCAR stat telling.
Yeah.
She's
so
I want
to. The wreck I'm talking about, right? Where Gordon.
Yeah, it was 2006 Pocono. He blew a brake rotor and chucked it into the grass going into turn one and hit it the wall in one. But I think, Jim, the biggest impact ever recorded, it might be overtaken at this point, it was also here. It was Elliott Sadler on the backstretch.
That was the nastiest wreck ever, man.
I think that was 100 and something plus G's. I know at the time it was the record. So that was 2010, I think.
Did that happen? That happened after Gordon's wreck?
Yeah, that was about 4 years later.
I remember. I've always been a big Elliott Sadler fan. Yeah, that was a huge impact. So yeah, there you go. So I know no
big impacts for me.
Yeah, well, that's funny that your wife called you out for that, and then of course you knew, which is even funnier. But look, man, congratulations! Another solid run. Coming off of that whole, getting to share time with us in the booth last week. But another good run. Keeping yourself up there at the top of the points, getting ready for the chase. Everything's looking strong for you. I have no doubt that you will get that win eventually. It just, I don't know, maybe not. You're gonna have to get Keaton Tripp off the track or something. But
I tried at one point. He got to my outside going into one. I ran him all the way up towards the wall. We were probably gonna hit, and he just ripped by. He piped up on the radio and was like, dude, I have no idea how that worked. He literally ran the wall around turn one at Pocono and blew by me. So yeah, I did everything I could, and then he just found something else, and that was impressive. But yeah, it'll come for sure. And
absolutely,
it's bittersweet to have like best finish, but you just got to keep chipping away,
Hey, if you keep having second place finishes, man, it will definitely come, no doubt about it. But congratulations again. You got anybody you want to thank before we let you out of here?
Yeah, same group always watching. My wife, Danielle, number one as always, and Luca and Angela in the living room watching this race with her. That I can always make it rewarding for them.
Huh?
Yep, my mom's in there. My dad doesn't know how to use YouTube chat, so he just watches. But he's watching. He's subscribed. So him and Zach Magris and Manny G, and I don't know if there was anybody else that tuned in tonight. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but appreciate everybody tuning in, watching me, and then of course the team. Like I said, committing to the strategies and having faith in that decision making, and always having my back. And lastly, I did want to shout out. I don't know if James is watching, but we're all thinking of him and hope he's all right out there. And miss racing him, miss him throwing dirty blocks on me and dooring me and everything else. I'd like to have him back. But yeah. And then of course you guys, always a great broadcast. I appreciate being in the booth last night, and third week in a row I got to talk to you in one way, shape,
One
or
way
form.
or another.
So,
That's right. Yeah.
yep.
All right, man. Congratulations again, and we look forward to talking to you. Not as a commentator in the weeks to come during the chase.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Finally, this evening, we have our race winner in Keaton Tripp. He was the first to 2 wins, the first to 3 wins, and now the first to a 4th win as well. Congratulations, Keaton. We mentioned that you locked into the chase. 4 win. You're just absolutely showing up the field at this point. Did you need a win at Pocono, or was it just might as well win it?
Yeah, I just might as well win it. We're gonna try to win out the rest of the year, but obviously probably won't happen. But yeah, we're always gonna try to get the win. Really have nothing better to race for, I guess, right now until the chase, since we've been locked in for maybe probably 2 weeks now. So just out here trying to collect some hardware, and yeah, we're ready for Michigan next week too. That's our team's sponsored race, and it's gonna be exciting.
Well, not just hardware. You're really filling up the stat sheet now. Obviously, your 4th win of the season. What is the most amount of wins you've taken in a single season previously?
This is my first year in MVRL.
Oh, that's right. It
but
is. Yes.
in other leagues, probably like 7 wins a year.
Just a cheeky 7 wins, Jim. I mean,
Yes, that's all.
that's all.
Well, he's still got enough. There's enough races out there. He could do that.
That's true. I mean, I've only ever seen it happen once before with a driver's taken 7 wins, and that was in a 10-round season of supercars. So, to see 7 wins in a NASCAR season would still be pretty impressive, because this is a very tough field to get race wins in. It's a very tough field to win a championship in as well. That chase format's going to have a part to play. Michigan next week could get that 5th win, could set yourself up with more momentum going to the chase too. I mean, are you hopeful now that with this almost Connor Zilic-esque season that you're going to be able to perform in that chase, and you're going to be able to walk away with the championship at season's end?
Yeah, I feel good about it. I've always felt good at points racing. The last 2 weeks really don't show what I'm probably going to be doing in the chase. I've been taking a lot of gambles and doing all sorts of weird strategies, experimenting and stuff. And some of it's worked, some of it hasn't. Today was probably one of the more conservative races I've ran in a while for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it definitely worked to be conservative tonight, and I was really shocked to be able to pass Nathan up in the high line like that tonight. I don't know how I got my truck to stick up there, almost up at the wall at Pocono, but it stuck, and we just held on to it till the end.
We saw you riding the wall on the inside of the main straight to pit lane. It was quite odd seeing you do that every single lap. Were you just trying to break the toe at that point, or were you maybe trying to get some side draft off of the wall?
I was just trying to break the draft as much as possible. This longest straightaway in NASCAR, I believe. It's pretty easy if you just stay up there on the wall. It's pretty easy for the guy to suck right up to you and get side by side with you going into the corner. So it's always just best to snake around on that straightaway. It's a quite the interesting track, that's for sure.
Well, you've driven incredibly well this season, Keaton. 4 wins now across the previous 14 rounds. So if you win next week, you're going to be at a 1/3 marker for how many wins you've taken this season, how many races that have been run. It's a very impressive stat to hold. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, thank you guys putting on these broadcasts. They're always fun to go back and watch. And thank the league owners, Justin, Nathan, Heath, and James, and Thank my teammates Austin, Andrew, and Rylan, and mom and dad watching at home.
Well, we appreciate you joining us once again. We wish you the best of luck next week at Michigan, and if for whatever reason we don't get a chance to chat to you, we wish you the best of luck in the chase as well going forward into May. And congrats on this race win. Keaton Tripp, race win up for 419, leader of the championship. Best of luck.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks so much. You too. Well, Jim, that'll bring an end to our broadcast for this evening and bring an end to the first 14 rounds of the season. There's one round to go of the regular season before the chase begins out in May. Michigan Raceway next week is going to throw up some big tests to these drivers. We'll have to see if they can maximize their momentum and try and set themselves up well for that chase process too. The bubble battle is still on for some drivers to sneak their way into the top 16. We look to the likes of Spain, Cook, Milfeld Jr., Watts, Kirk, even Mitten and Bumgarner, who could possibly sneak their way into. Fracker got good points tonight, as did Laverne. It's going to be even tighter when we get out to Michigan next week. A shout out to our stream sponsors, of course, to DRE Digital Race Engineers, been with us since day one, as well as Track Cams for Gourmets, and the Roasted Record down in Stuart, Florida. You can go visit them in person, get yourself some artisan coffee and some records, and go home with some tunes and brews. And if you don't live anywhere near them and you want to order some yourself, you can go to their website and use code SIM20 for 20% off your order at checkout. They will ship to pretty much anywhere, wherever you're ordering from as well. Be sure as well, if you're joining us for the first time, to hit the like button and subscribe to the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on Motormouth Broadcasting. We are 155 subscribers away from 1,000. We would love to get there by the time we get to June/July, as that will mark the 1 year marker of, well, really Motormouth Broadcasting becoming a full-time gig for me and Jim, basically. So that'll be a fantastic achievement to get to. We appreciate your time joining us once again, though. We'll see you guys next week out at Michigan. But thanks so much for joining us here on Motormouth Broadcasting, where legends are created one corner at a time.